I never thought I'd see the day when my parents would finally wake up to my younger sister's true colors. It felt like I'd been screaming into the void for years, desperately trying to warn them, but they were always too enchanted by her charm to see the darkness beneath. Growing up, I was the forgotten older sister, forever in the shadow of Lily, the miracle child born after our family's darkest moment. A miscarriage that shattered my parents' hearts and left me feeling like a ghost in my own home. I remember the day Lily, with her big doe eyes and sweet giggles, wrapped her tiny fingers around my dad's thumb. That moment felt like a knife twisting in my gut as he smiled at her, completely oblivious to my silent anguish and the aching loneliness that crept in. As the years dragged on, I watched Lily manipulate every situation to her advantage, playing the victim like a seasoned actress. She'd sabotage my belongings, and I spent countless nights crying into my pillow, wishing someone would just see through her facade. Whenever I mustered the courage to voice my concerns, my parents dismissed me, calling me jealous and selfish. Their words echoing in my mind as I faded further into the background, an invisible observer in my own life. When I graduated high school and left for college, I clung to the hope that distance would bring me peace. I buried myself in my studies, determined to escape the suffocating grip of my family's dysfunction, but the guilt of leaving them behind gnawed at me. Landing a job at a multinational corporation felt like a victory, yet every success was tainted by the knowledge that my parents were still entranced by Lily's performance, celebrating her every move while I felt like an echo of my former self. Everything shattered one fateful day when I received a frantic call from my mom. Her voice trembled with fear as she told me Dad had suffered a heart attack. And in that moment, my heart plummeted into a pit of dread. During Dad's recovery, he suggested a family vacation. And while the thought of being together again made my stomach churn, I agreed, clinging to a fragile hope that maybe we could heal our fractured relationship. But when I arrived at the airport, shock coursed through me as I discovered my ticket had been mysteriously canceled. I glanced at Lily, whose sly smile sent chills down my spine, and a wave of betrayal crashed over me. My parents insisted it was a mix-up, their blind adoration for Lily blinding them to the truth. As they boarded the plane without me, I felt my heart shatter, once again the outsider in a family that had never truly seen me. Days later, I was jolted awake by my mother's panicked voice on the phone. They'd caught Lily hiding Dad's heart medication, and I felt a sickening twist in my stomach as the horrifying reality dawned on me. I had come so close to losing him forever. As my mother recounted the chaos, her fear-stricken voice sliced through me like a knife. How could they have let it come to this? How could they have ignored the signs? The situation escalated in a flash. My sister, consumed by rage, lashed out, and I could hardly breathe as the news of her arrest hit me. My heart was heavy with a conflicting mix of relief and sorrow. In that moment, my parents were stranded in a foreign country, finally starting to see Lily for who she truly was. The twisted sense of vindication I felt was marred by the pain of watching my family crumble. When they returned home, the atmosphere shifted. Confronting Lily felt like a reckoning, and I stood by, witnessing years of favoritism unravel in a single moment, each revelation a bittersweet victory. Lily's response was chilling. Her voice dripped with venom as she threatened them with false accusations of neglect, still playing the victim as we all stood on the edge of chaos, teetering between love and betrayal. The tension reached a horrifying climax when she came at our parents with a knife. My heart raced, my breath caught in my throat. This was the culmination of years of manipulation and pain, and I felt paralyzed by fear and disbelief. They had no choice but to call the police. The sound of handcuffs clicking into place echoed in my ears like a death knell for the sister I once adored, leaving me to grapple with a tangled mess of relief, sorrow, and guilt. As my parents stayed with me for a while, I watched them struggle under the weight of guilt, their apologies spilling out like a flood. It was overwhelming, yet I felt a cautious flicker of hope igniting in my chest. We began to have open conversations about the years of favoritism. It was painful and raw, but finally it felt like they were trying to understand my perspective, like they were finally seeing me after all these years. Though the path to healing wasn't perfect, it began to feel like we were finally moving forward. Slowly, the bonds that had been frayed for so long started to mend, even if the scars would always remain. We started to explore ways to help Lily, recognizing that her manipulation stemmed from deeper issues. Part of me felt a flicker of compassion amidst the pain she had caused us, and I began to wonder about her own suffering. Some nights, I still lay awake, haunted by memories of our family's chaos, wrestling with the uncertainty of our future and the fate of Lily. What would become of her now? In the end, it was bittersweet. We were a family forever changed by turmoil. But I clung to the hope that maybe, just maybe, we could rebuild something stronger out of the ashes together. Thank you for watching. For more real stories and powerful dramas, be sure to like, subscribe, and explore our Twisted Ancestry channel. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting us and transforming your love life with the Make Him Worship You program, linked in the description. It's a game changer for any woman seeking the love she truly deserves.